What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, straight from the places of kangaroos and into your living room. And today, we've got something big. I would like to thank Ubisoft first of all for supplying the free review copy. I have a lot of respect for them. We've had a long partnership over a long period of time, and thanks to them, I was able to try the game for about a week before it actually came out. So I've had a significant amount of time to judge how good it is and what they can improve on in the future, because this game does have a lot of potential. I think the reason that Ubisoft was so keen for me to review this game is because it is, I think, a huge leap forward in terms of their graphics. I think it's a huge leap forward in terms of a lot of aspects, and it brings together games previous that they have developed, such as Rainbow Six Siege even, but going as far into Tom Clancy's Breakpoint. This game seems to culminate in a huge unilateral combination, which, you know, works quite well, but there is a lot of aspects they need to improve, to be honest, in my opinion. Mainly due to the fact that the world can feel quite empty. Your options are basically juggling a soccer ball, you know, throwing darts, or, you know, there's only a couple of options, so I'd love to see that expanded. I have not tried the online. This review is going to be only regarding the campaign. Like I said, I have got a review copy. I did not purchase this game, and I am being supported by Ubisoft making these videos. I also plan to stream this game to show you guys more of what it's about, and that will give you a bigger idea, so be sure to follow me on twitch.tv/IcemanOz, link below in the description. Watch Dogs Legion, that is the game. Let's get into it. I'm going to be 100% honest, 100% real as always. I am giving my straight opinion. I have not been told any direction on what to say. Thankfully, Ubisoft is a fantastic publisher and allow me the freedom to express my opinion irregardless of our relationship, and so that is a beautiful thing, and I will be 100% honest in my thoughts here. And this is going to be a long unilateral review covering each aspect after about 50 hours of playthrough in my experience. So just remember, everyone's experience is going to be different. Some people are going to like this game, some people are going to say it's trash, you know. But in my opinion, it's a good game and has a lot of potential, like I said at the start. To further illustrate my point of being fair in this review, I want to make sure that you guys know EA gave me Battlefield 1 back in the day. They've given me Battlefield titles. I stopped playing it after an hour, and I was like, I'm not even going to review this game. So if the game sucks, you know I'm not gonna play it, and I will tell you honestly that I don't like it. All that out the way, let's get into the core gameplay aspects. And like I said at the start, the world does feel a bit empty no matter how beautiful it is. I've never been in a world as beautiful as this in any game. The map is absolutely massive. There is so much to check out, and it is a beautiful place. The characters in the game, well, you make your own characters essentially. You can go around, check out everybody. Everyone has their own different abilities. Some people have flatulence, so the enemies can smell them coming from a mile away, all the way to being mechanics, lawyers who can get you out of jail faster. And the system here in terms of the driving is a lot like GTA, where you're going around, the police will chase you. You basically have a 5-star wanted level if you check the bottom left while you're driving. There'll be like these little stars, but they're triangles instead of stars. But it's the same thing in general, and you will get a lot of GTA vibes from this. And the fact that it is based in London, going around all the different places, all the different landmarks, some beautiful places obviously, and they are replicated almost to a T in this game. The world looks like, you know, you'd be going to London, checking out the Edinburgh, going around everywhere, and it's crazy.
Hang on, are you DedSec? If you are, I need help with something.
Sure, maybe. What's up?
I volunteer with Underground Charity. We help undocumented people avoid deportation squad. Lately, I have problem getting in touch. Cannot reach people I help. I'm very worried something happened to them.
All right, got it. Anti-deportation charity, possibly dodgy, needs looking into. We're on it.
There's some great things about this in terms of the visuals, but the gameplay needs some filling up. They need to add some more into it. Like, for example, in GTA 5, you can go you know, rob places. You know, I'd love to see some places you could go rob. Maybe have a meter of good versus evil. If you kill a lot of people, your character becomes more evil. If you do good things, then your character becomes more good. Things like this would definitely help improve the depth of the game, which is why I said it has a lot of potential, because it's missing a few things here, okay? So I played this on 2 accounts to try out the game on normal with permadeath off, and the highest difficulty hard with permadeath on. So the biggest difference with permadeath is your characters can die, and when you run out of operatives, you have to restart the entire game, which that concept alone of harsh punishment for being absolutely trash at the game is something that I think is great. I think that's a beautiful idea, one of the best ideas that I've seen implemented into this game. Every situation is different. When you start off, you're going to have a main character that's different each time, and you're going to find different characters throughout the game that you can recruit, and you'll do missions to unlock these recruits. So basically, you got to pass a mission, you'll have a task that you need to do to get the recruit. You can pick up anyone that you choose, anyone off the street, you can scan them and add them to your recruits. Now, it does take a lot of aspects, like I said, from previous games like Ghost Recon Breakpoint and the previous Watch Dogs titles. There's no stat upgrading. The only thing you can really adjust is your clothing, which is, you know, is not the best. I wish there was more things that you can customize. That would be a great addition into the game. And you do have your tech tree, which you can upgrade and unlock special abilities, which is a great feature, and you can do all sorts of wacky things. This game has a lot of different stuff you can do in terms of upgrading your tech. Different gadgets and different abilities, hacks, etc. And the cool thing is a lot of these missions can have multiple ways to do them. So for example, one mission you'll be told to recruit a construction worker, or be told to dump the car into a river. Not any particular part of the river, just any part in general. Just dump it in the river, because that's what needs to be done. It creates unique results each time, as the gameplay is left open-ended, for better or worse. The fact that this game releases on the PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and Windows shows that they are going for everybody. And I think a lot of people are considering waiting till it drops in price, which will inevitably happen, perhaps around Christmas time, and just realize that obviously it will go down in price over time, and I think this one will have some nice discounts coming up, so just stay tuned. Wink, nudge, nudge. Now, here's the next part of this. Because it's set in the fine British parts, the special, fantastic, posh areas of Britain, you will notice that you'll notice a lot of things that are very similar, almost identical. It's quite insane and does feel next gen in terms of its visuals. A lot of the times I'm just in awe and having fun just driving around, even though I have no particular mission or anything. And the interactions between people on the streets walking around and discussing with each other is pretty cool as well. You'll see some unique things happen, and a bunch of random stuff happens as well, which is going to be a lot of fun. The mixture of the GTA aspect in the driving really does get me, and I do enjoy it. A lot of people will see direct comparisons with it, and you know, I do see why. You know, a lot of very similar aspects in terms of the driving, but it is a massive upgrade in terms of the visuals in comparison to GTA. So if you're going to be buying GTA on the PS5 so you can buy it a third time, or buy this, let me tell you something, you should buy this instead, because this does have more unique aspects, and the fact that you can go around and find missions where you didn't even think were any, it's very cool. The setting is also very interesting. It's sort of set in a way that a communist party took over Britain, and it's a lot of ways it reminds me of the current conflict with the United States and China, is that there's this regime basically spreading propaganda and controlling the streets. They have militants controlling the streets, and it's quite interesting how it works. You have to take over and build your team so you can take over the entire space, the entire map, and so you go through the map completing missions to eventually complete that goal, and that's what the game is at the end of the day. When you first start playing, you'll notice a very long load time, which obviously is going to happen because of the visuals, because they are so strong, especially on the previous gen consoles like the PS4, and they do struggle to keep up, not gonna lie. So going back to playing on 2 different accounts, playing on the normal versus the hard and the permadeath, you should have permadeath on, and you should play this on the hardest difficulty. In my opinion, the normal difficulty is way too easy, and on hard, often I'm not challenged too much, but I think that most people would be challenged by the hard mode to quite a nice extent. But it's not the hardest thing in the world. It's not like you're playing Dark Souls, for example. It is a casual experience, and that is something you have to keep in mind when purchasing this game. One of my favorite features is being able to manipulate the cars with your device. You can make the cars, around you crash into walls, crash into each other. You can make all sorts of crazy things happen, and that's a lot of fun to play with. There's a lot of things just while roaming around in the world that you can experiment with, and doing that for a few hours is a lot of fun. I think one of the best things they could do is add more of a simulator aspect to the game in regards to eating. So if you ate a lot of food and didn't exercise, you'd gain weight and become like a fat guy. Or if you did like a lot of exercise, you'd become a ripped guy. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun to add into it, to add a building that people could go in and actively do something in. That would be cool. Also, going back to the good guy versus bad guy thing, so if you committed a lot of crimes, you wouldn't just go into jail, get released like nothing happened. I think what you should do is add like permanent ramifications, and you build reputation, because if you're going to have such a strong community that changes all the time in regards to these characters, because every character has a backstory, I think you could do something like that, and that would be truly innovative. The fact that it's set in a not too distant future is sort of a perfect place for it to be, because it predicts future technologies like really big cargo ships, for example, that you could sit on top of, and that idea to me is absolutely amazing. So I think that's something that'll be around in the future, is drones that are so big, just drones that are so big that you could literally sit on them and fly around with. That was one of the coolest things to me, and there's a bunch of those gadgets in there that are really fun to mess about with. In terms of exploring the buildings, because you'll see obviously there's a lot of buildings on this map, as you could imagine. I wish that a lot of them you could go inside of. You see people walking into buildings, but you can't follow them, or do something. Like, what if you wanted to go crazy and smuggle one of them or something? Like, I'd like that feature as well. What if you could like kidnap someone and put them in the back of a trunk? I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's what if you want to add some like more layers to the game and add more stuff to do, like that could be something. Like, a lot of the buildings you can't even enter. They're just they're just walls basically. So I wish that we could add more of those. Like, imagine if you could have the 7-Eleven, you go there, buy a candy bar, and that'd be cool. So hopefully they can either add that for the online or the campaign later, just to fill up the map a little bit. Raiding areas of the map which are held by what we'll call the communists, essentially that's what they are, can feel quite repetitive sometimes. You'll notice a lot of just enemies popping up. You kill the enemies, you turn on the power to something. You can hack, and there is a stealth aspect to doing these areas, but a lot of the time you won't even need to use stealth. You can just use, pull out a big gun from one of your characters, get an LMG and just go to town. It does provide, the ability to use stealth and be more tactical, but it's not really necessary. My recommendation would be to wait a little while for them to add DLC and for it to go on sale. That would be my personal recommendation. But if they can make a few upgrades here, this game is going to be absolutely top shelf, and people will be talking about this for years to come. But we'll wait and see. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you going to be picking this game up? Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're probably considering it. If you made it to this point of the video, be sure to smack a like and subscribe and press the bell next to it and set it to all so you get notifications for each of my videos. Again, I'd like to thank Ubisoft for this terrific opportunity and supporting the channel. You should go check them out at Ubisoft ANZ. They were kind enough to hook me up, and I was so honored to be able to try this game before anyone else. I was one of the first people to ever try Watch Dogs Legion, and that will go down in history as something that I will appreciate, and I think everyone who is a viewer of mine knows that is a momentous thing, and that is something that is great. And I would like to thank Ubisoft once again for their support. I think they are the greatest publisher in terms of supporting the community and supporting influencers such as myself. So with that being said, thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and peace.